What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit up those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is July 6, 2020. It is Monday morning around 6 o'clock on the West Coast. And let's just get this morning started out right. I have some of this Platinum OG from Farmer and the Felon that was still out here ground up. I have some new Tropicana Punch, I believe it was, from Farmer and the Felon. Haven't smoked any of this yet. It doesn't look as good as the Platinum. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll try it out for sure. But it definitely doesn't look as good as the Platinum. Doesn't smell as good as the Platinum, but it is what it is, I guess, you know? What else is going on? So, okay, let's just get into this snap, and then I don't have anything written down. It's been a pretty mellow weekend, didn't do too much. But yeah, we'll get into everything. We shall get into it. Let's just have this little snap first, though. All right, I got my coffee here, so I'll be having some of that as well. All right, everybody, cheers. Whew. Gotta get that deep inhale, you know? That deep inhale. All right. Woo. So it's been tough for me. It has been tough for me mentally lately. Things just haven't really changed. If you've been listening for a while, you know that I just have problems and I struggle with letting things go, and especially if I believe in it and I feel it to be true, then I definitely, won't give up on it and can't give up on these things. But yeah, just dealing with my ex, man, it's just it's really challenging because I just believe in that. I believe we're supposed to be together, but it's just not a good time right now. We just constantly argue and all of that, and it sucks because I just want things to be nice. I want things to be good, but then she goes and blocks me because of the things I do, getting all crazy and stuff. And but it's like I just get crazy because she doesn't want to see me or whatever, and then but when we do see each other, it's like everything's really nice and things are really good. So it's like that's why I have these thoughts on it, is because it's like when we actually see each other and are together, things are just like perfect. Everything's really nice, really good. Our connection is just amazing. But when we are apart and dealing with this day-to-day life and the day-to-day struggle where we're not together and we are just navigating through all of this, we just argue all the time. And it's just the stressors of, the day-to-day life and everything like that. But it's just really frustrating. It really is, and it's taking its toll on me again. I mean, she, wants nothing to do with me, and it's just like I'm not gonna give up, and that's where we're at. It's like I'm just gonna be here, kind of waiting, and it is what it is, I guess. So I don't know. It's been really challenging though. It's really starting to take its toll on me again, just mentally. I just haven't been productive at all, really. My health has gone completely by the wayside, and that goes from eating properly. I haven't been to the grocery store in probably a month and a half now, just because I do not want to deal with the confrontation of wearing a mask and not wearing a mask, and I just won't comply with that. So it's like I just don't even want to deal with it and bother with it. And then online groceries suck. So I've just been eating out a lot, and usually only eating like once a day and then maybe a snack or two throughout the day. And it's just not a very healthy way to go about things. And then I'm not really getting out in the sun and exercising like I want to. Um, I don't know. It's just, when things are struggling with, that loneliness and that relationship stuff, it really affects kind of everything in my life. Um, and that is stuff I'm, getting into with therapy and, trying to navigate through all of that. But it's going to take a long time. I know that because this is, 28, 29 years worth of, just one way conditioning, and brought up to think things a certain way, and that just won't change over a year or a year and a half or whatever time. And because those habits and those things are really strong, and those things are really hard to break. It doesn't matter like how much I want things to change. It's like those bad habits are like ingrained in me, and yeah, I don't know really what to do or how to really change those things, because I feel like I'm trying to do everything I can to take those steps in the positive and right direction, but it just seems to never go anywhere. And it's discouraging. It's like obviously things are better from, 5, 6, 7 months ago to a year ago, but not by much. And it's like, I don't know. I don't even know if I say I'm like really better or feeling any better. It's like I still kind of feel the same. It's just I go through these waves always when I get like super depressed, super down, and it can last for quite a while, or it can go away pretty quickly. But the last one was probably months long, where it really just stuck with me, and I finally kind of broke through that, but it's still always there. Like I've always said, it's still ups and downs, and I was trying to be more productive, but even when I was being more productive and more healthy, it wasn't getting me anywhere. It wasn't changing anything, like for the things that I wanted. You know what I mean? Like for my goals and for what I wanted, it wasn't doing anything, so it was really discouraging. And then it just kind of brought me back to this slowly but surely. This yeah, it's frustrating. Like I wake up sad and I go to sleep sad. And during the day there isn't much going on either. It's like I just sit here and I'm just in a haze, in a fog. Just recently we got the PS4, so we've been playing some video games and stuff, but for the most part, it's like I don't really do anything anymore, and I don't want to go find a job because it's like I'm sure all of these jobs like make you wear a mask, and I'm not going to do that. So, I really don't know what to do right now. Things are just kind of crazy. I need to figure out a way to just, you know, make an income from doing things that I do around the house. And that's, growing this channel, playing the games, growing cannabis. um, I have window washing equipment, maybe doing a couple places here or there. But yeah, man, I don't ever really want to go back to a regular job. Like I dread that. Like the thought of that just isn't a good one for me. I don't know when my next therapy appointment is. It's supposed to be Wednesday. Could be today. Could be tomorrow. Could be in another week. I don't know. That's what's a little frustrating about this. He seems to always be kind of going on vacation or changing his schedule or something like that, and that's not good for me. So I don't know. It's but I don't want to make changes because I don't like changes, and I don't deal well with that. So it's a mess right now, man. And I really don't know what to do, but it's a struggle. It really is. I knew this one was gonna be a little heavy just because I haven't been paying attention to the news. I haven't been paying attention to anything. It's like I said, it's been really hard. This is just completely kind of put me at a loss, stop me in my track again, It's just it's really frustrating. And so yeah, I just haven't been following really any stories. I haven't been seeing what's been going on too much. I haven't really been looking into anything. It's all just been really overwhelming, and I just don't really want to do anything. Um, like I said, I didn't do any research for this, but I knew I was kind of gonna just have a lot to talk about regardless, just because of everything kind of going on inside of my head. Um, but I still, made myself do it. I made myself get up, set my alarm, listen to some Ben and Woods this morning. It was just Woods for, the first hour. And then they had a guest co host come in till Wednesday, I think. So I was listening to that a little bit this morning, cleaned the glass, got my coffee ready, and now I'm out here, but no prep, no anything, just straight off of the top, and just straight from the heart, just kind of explaining and telling you guys what's really going on. I mean, I struggle every day. I mean, it is a struggle every single day, and some times of the day are better and some times of the day are worse, and it's like in the mornings I wake up, I'm sad, but it's like I just try and keep this schedule, keep this routine going, and just force myself to kind of do it. But like I said, after this, I don't really do anything for a majority of the day. I was working out for a while, going on runs and stuff, but again, it's just I haven't been able to find that discipline and find that motivation to kind of stick to a schedule. And you know, it's a battle, it's a struggle. It really is. So that's kind of what's going on. Let's grind up some of this Tropicana. I believe that's what it was, man. Something like that. And have a little taste of this. Just smells like that old school outdoor, almost like not quite brick weed, but similar. So I'm really hesitant on this stuff, but hey, it could surprise me. That's always the interesting thing about herb. It's like some things can maybe look and smell a little funny, but then hit and taste good. And so we'll see. We'll see. And things sometimes always smell a little different, a little better when once ground up too. So we'll get the full experience here. You'll get the first look at me smoking this stuff, which isn't too often. Not too often that I try it, like a new strain or new flower or anything like that. So this is, well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a Tropicana to begin with, but you know, the OGs, the cookies, the J1s, the Jacks, the Gorilla Glues, like all that. LA Kush, the AK-47, blueberries, all that stuff. I've had so much Hog's Breath, all these strains I've had, not from specific brands and stuff, but you know what I mean. It's not too often that I come across a brand new strain that I haven't tried before. And like I said, I don't think I've ever tried a Tropicana before. And this is probably not the best way to go about it with this outdoor cheap stuff, but it's what we got. Let's smell this, see what this is like. Yeah, not much different. It does have a little like sweet, like citrus kind of. It does smell like a punch, like a juice or something, which is so weird how they can do that. I don't understand how that works. Let's try a little bit of this. It does have a nice purple and green look to it, but the buds didn't look great. The smell isn't quite there, but we'll see how it hits and tastes. I'm expecting it to be a little harsh. All right, everybody. Cheers. Not much of a taste, and it wasn't that harsh. So, hey, the look and smell might not be there, but it hit fine. It definitely hit fine. I'm not mad at that. All right, so let's move past some of this heavy stuff. I'm sure we might weave in and out of it, but so Saturday was the 4th. So that didn't do too much that day. I did go over to my mom's around like 11:30 noonish or so and just had some lunch with her. And just me and her. My brother didn't show up. He was doing some other things or whatever. We made a Beyond Burger double patty. That was good. Some fries and uh yeah, we just kind of hung out, and then after lunch we watched The Sandlot. I always get this feeling to watch Sandlot on or near 4th of July just because that's when the movie takes place, And man, that movie is just so classic. Every single time I watch it, it's just so great. I laugh every single time, and it's just a fun, good family friendly movie. Not that like you know we were watching it for kids around or whatever. It's just a fun, good, feel good movie about friendship, baseball, dealing with the 4th of July. It has good soundtrack. Just this nostalgic kind of feel and vibe about it. They really seem to kind of capture the era that they were going for pretty well. Even my mom said it. And we've seen that movie so many times, but each time, like, I just noticed something that I hadn't noticed before. So that's always fun. That's always cool. Cause like when you know a movie so well, like you've seen it so many times, like you can start looking in the background at things and not miss what's going on in the foreground because it's like you've seen it so many times, but you can really start to look in the background and see what they're doing. And then I looked at some movie mistakes or whatever on IMDb, and I was looking for some of those, and it's just fun, man. Like being able to notice those things and not really miss the movie because you've just seen it so many times. And that's like Home Alone's one of those for us as well. We watched that one, and that Christmas time we gotta watch Home Alone. 4th of July, I feel like I gotta watch Sandlot. So yeah, there's just certain movies, around October ish. That's when you throw the horror movies on. You know what I mean? And I don't really have a specific go-to horror. It was Halloween for a while, like the original. Um, but I just love horror films, man, and suspense. I don't really like the gore slasher films anymore. Like that's what I like grew up on for sure. I used to love that stuff like all the time, but you know, gore, that stuff mixed in with a good psychological thriller is just perfect for me. But you can deal without the gore and just have that psychological suspense that kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat, like what the fuck, type thing. Um, I don't know. Saw really does it for me. I haven't seen the original in a while, but I finally watched like excuse me. I finally did kind of, I believe, finish up on the whole series. Um, just last year, late last year, probably around October time. Um, I saw Jigsaw, and if I remember correctly, that's the last one. But I could be wrong, dude. Am I tripping, or did they say that they're making another one, and there's gonna be another one? Am I tripping on that? Or did I dream that? Or did I see that somewhere? I don't know. I can't look it up right now. But dude, that original Saw was amazing. Um another one of my all-time favorites. I haven't seen it in probably a good few years, handful of years now, which is good cuz this one, it's probably one of my favorites, but it can't be watched every year. But Titanic, man, like I love that movie. Just the story, the dialogue, the imagery, just everything about it. I love that movie. I haven't seen it in quite a while, like I said, but whenever it's on, whenever I catch it, that's yeah, one of my, easily my top 5 for sure. Might have movies are so hard, man, and shows and TV shows, but I did my top 5 list of that. But even that's always changing. Um but movies, man, it's like, what mood are you in for a movie for it to be your favorite, you know? So like I said, Sandlot is one of the best movies to me. And then you put it up with like Titanic. And it's like they're not comparable. They're two completely different films. But it's just like, what mood are you in? Like, and then Saw, throw that in the mix. Like one of my other like all-time favorites for sure. Has to be. And those three are just so different, but it encapsulates me so well. Like we have that, that friendship, fun, family friendly baseball, that type of movie. And then we have the love story, tragic ending, like, that story. And then Saw, the horror, suspense, mind fuck stuff, and that stuff. So those three kind of encapsulate me pretty well, honestly. And those might be a top three. I'd have to really think about it and really narrow it down to a top five, and maybe do that in an episode coming up soon. Because I think that, yeah, and then comparing them with my top five TV shows and seeing the similarities and stuff, and because I already know, like, Boy Meets World and then The Sandlot, so those are kind of comparable. They are very comparable because in the early Boy Meets World, some of the Sandlot kids are in Boy Meets World, so, and like, yeah, it's pretty funny. So there is some crossover with that, but that is something I'll have to kind of think about and gather a top five list for. It seems like I have a top three already, but we'll see. We shall see. That will be an interesting one. That will. But movies are so hard to rank, man. They really are. It's because new stuff is always coming out. There's so much good classic old stuff. And like I said, it's like your moods always change. You grow and change as a person. So how do you just pinpoint a favorite? But those are the ones that have really stuck with me over time, for sure. But like I said, I'll have to really think about it and come up with a good list. And yeah, and then we'll, maybe do some comparisons with the TV shows as well. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, just kind of hung out with my mom, watched Sandlot. And then I just came home and I think we were just playing some Warzone with my dad. I was just playing some Warzone with him, doing a little streaming and stuff. And it was around 8-ish or so. And all of a sudden I start hearing fireworks go off. I don't really think much of it. But they always go off. But it had been a handful of years, probably 3-4 years since I've actually seen fireworks, because I had normally been working the window cleaning job that my dad and brother still work for. And I would always have to be up super early in the morning, so I'd be in bed, passed out while fireworks are going off. So it took me about 10-15 minutes before I was like, man, I better go out there and actually see some of these fireworks. So that's what I did. I went out and watched them for like 15-20 minutes or so. Got them in kind of all directions from my back patio area. Some at the park nearby, I believe. Some further down, and then some up in some houses, like on the other direction. So there's like a park over here, further away just a little bit, and then on this side over here up in the hill there was like some going off over there. So got a pretty good show and good look at some fireworks, which was pretty cool. Because, like I said, it had been a handful of years or so since I've actually seen them go off on the 4th, you know? So that was cool. And, yeah, I just was able to kind of take that in. And I was on my phone a little bit, just, messaging and stuff, but I definitely was taking it in. And they it was interesting because like I thought they died down, and then I went back in, and then I was gonna be going to bed pretty shortly after that. Got into bed, and all of a sudden the fireworks started going off again, and I heard that they went off to like 1 or 2 in the morning, and it's like, okay, man, whatever. But yeah, it was just pretty funny because all of a sudden they died down. It's like, oh well, I guess that's it. And yeah, when I was getting into bed, probably like 20 minutes later, they started going off again. And I was like, oh, it's pretty funny. But yeah, I passed out, fell asleep, and you know, but heard that they kept going to like 1 or 2. So that was pretty funny. That is funny. Um, and then I woke up and actually went over to my mom's and went on a walk with her around her neighborhood for about 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes. That was good. And then just stopped back by her place real quick. Had a little breakfast, a little bite to eat. And then um that's about it. It was kind of interesting because I she doesn't go deep into conversations too much. Like she's very just kind of just surface level stuff. And I've always tried to like, ask questions or when it comes to like religion and things like that. She's a Christian and that's how we were raised, but she just has this unquestioning faith. And not many people have that, you know? And so growing up and having these questions about religion and God and all of this and trying to ask her, but her just not knowing the answers because she just trusts in God and just, believes and doesn't have any questions. It's like, for me, that turned me away because it's like, you can't answer my questions and nobody can. The church wasn't listening to me. Like nobody in my small group was wanting to have these conversations. So it's like I just completely like turned away from the church. And you know, that's a whole other, episode or whatever we'll get into at some point, but um it's just interesting because getting into kind of conspiracies, that's what kind of turned me away from the church and kind of, started having me ask these questions and things like that. But then also, a decade or so later, conspiracy theories have now brought me back to kind of believing in, well, I'm not saying I ever disbelieved in a creator or God or whatever. It's just I have questions and nobody still can answer these questions. But I guess that's what you learn as you get older, that like, some questions you just will never have the answer to, and science can't answer it. And it's like, so it's like, who is God, or what is God, and how did that get here, and who came before that, who created that, and you know what I mean? It's just a never ending thing of questions. At least to me. But listening to conspiracy theories, learning about that, and then being kind of um made aware of about flat earth, and then the connection with the Bible and science, and how it all kind of ties in together with it actually being a flat earth. um I brought this up to my mom because she just, like I said, she doesn't question anything. So I had to make sure. I was like, Mom, like, we were on a walk finishing it up kind of. I was like, so you believe everything in the Bible to be true word for word, right? She's like, yes, as crazy as that sounds. I was like, no, I don't think it's crazy. I just wanted to make sure, like, that's what you believed. Um, as I kind of preface this, like, I just wanted to, make sure that is the case. And then I asked her, I was like, in the Bible, it says that there is a firmament which separates the waters from the waters, and implying like there's this dome above us separating, the sky, the waters from us. So just read the verse. It's super early in Genesis, the first few verses. And I know I had brought this up to her before, the firmament, and I mentioned it before. And she tried to play it off like, I don't even know what the firmament is. I never even heard of that. Well, I was like, well, I have mentioned to you it before. So it's like she either didn't listen to me, doesn't retain it. I don't know. But I definitely have mentioned it before because this is a topic I thought was kind of important, for a flat earth, and being a Christian, and, believing in the Bible word for word, as she does. I feel like this is pretty important. Um, because she just, like, why would science do that? Like, why would they lie? And science, I believe science and all this. So I just said, well, science says you can go out to space and there isn't this dome, and it's infinite and ever expansive, and we're exploring these planets. But in the Bible, it says there's this firmament that's separating us. So I asked her before I, said that. I was like, you believe the Bible to be true, every word, right? Yes. And I asked her, but you also believe science to be true? Yes, is what her answer was. And then so I says, well, science says space is infinite, all that stuff, and we can go explore it and all that. Bible says we can't. And it's kind of this fixed spot. We're in one of the verses says, and looks at the four corners of the earth. To me, that implies it'd be a flat thing, a flat plane. And then, like I said, the firmament thing. So she just basically shut down and was like, I don't know. I don't think about these things. I think, well, it is something to think about because science says one thing, the Bible says another. You believe both. How can that be? So these are the things that I deal with. It's like, I have these questions. I have, you know, I just have, I just want these conversations. I want this dialogue to happen. But whenever I do, I either get shut out, or I get called crazy, or just basically discounted with what I say. And it just feels disrespectful. And I feel disrespected anyway. And yeah, it's just It's interesting. It really is. Because I just, I've always had these questions. I'm always on the hunt for learning and knowledge, and that's just all I want is to learn and the truth and to have these conversations for people to be able to, open up to each other and just be able to have open dialogue without it kind of without shutting each other down, It's just like listen to each other instead of, oh, why would they lie or why would they do this? Instead of doing that, it's like we need to be like listen to each other, It's like I will listen to you, but then I will point out where you're wrong, and you can do the same to me. And you can ask these questions to me, and I will answer to the best of my ability as well. And I feel like that's how we grow. I feel like that's how we make changes. But it just seems like that doesn't happen, or at least not with me. And I don't know what it is that I do because I just want the conversation. I just want the truth. And that's it. You know? That's all I want. And that's why I'm always trying to learn. But it just feels like I just get discounted with because it's not from a college or anything like that or from a textbook. It's not real learning, I guess, But whatever. So yeah, that's I kind of because we had this conversation a few weeks back on my birthday. Yeah, that's what it was. When me and my brother got into it really bad. Still haven't really seen each other since Father's Day. But we got into it there, and then, that's when the whole flat earth thing got brought up again. I don't bring that shit up. They're the ones that brought it up again. And it's like, you can believe whatever you want, but when you're going to bring it up, then I'm going to, tell you some things. And it's just like, I feel flat earth stuff is more rooted in science than the science that we're taught, that we're just told to believe without us personally doing these tests. It's like other people might have done these tests in the past, but it's like we're not still doing them. So how do we know? How can we verify as people? I mean, yeah, we could, but a lot of these things are still theories and, not laws. And I don't know. When you look at things, it's just still pretty crazy. And there just seems to be, nobody really knows what's going on. Like, nobody really knows what we're on. Nobody knows anything. And it's all just theories. And we're just doing our best to learn. But I don't think anybody really does know. But in my opinion, I don't feel like we're on a spinning ball and going in like 4 different motions, spinning through space. And yeah, I just don't see it. I don't feel it. Like, your senses should be able to tell you things, But we don't feel any of that. So that's just kind of where I stand. But yeah, man, it's just funny how, listening to conspiracy theories early on kind of made me question religion, and then keeping with conspiracy theories has kind of led me back into God and more of a belief than kind of ever. I mean, I don't know. Like, I believe in a God and a creator, but I still have so many questions. I always will, I guess, and nobody will ever be able to answer them for me. And who knows what happens when we die and if those questions will ever even be answered. Who knows? Oh, let's get into this last nap and then I will get on out of here. This went longer than I was expecting, which is good because I knew I had a lot to say. Didn't know where exactly I was going to go, but Didn't have anything prepared or planned. Hopefully Wednesday I'll be a little bit better. Me and Zach should be going live tomorrow at 2:30 on at the _ No World Order podcast Instagram. So go there. Tuesday morning tokes tomorrow morning. Check that out. And Colt _ personalities on Twitch. Yeah. So check out everything coming. We are going to be continuing the content as much as possible. Just trying to find new ways, new things to do. There's still 2 other series that I have planned that I still want to get going. But again, it's finding that discipline, that motivation, and just cracking down and doing it. I would be able to fill out my day a little bit more. At least one of these other ones, it would be able to take up probably an hour each time I did a thing, and then it'd probably take up a couple hours to edit and export and all of that. So that could be something to do and really think about. But yeah, man, it's just really cracking down and getting it done. It's just cracking it down and getting it done. Yeah, let's get into the snap and then I'll get on out of here. Cheers. Deep breaths always. Gotta get those lungs right for the smoke, you know? Deep inhale. Oh. That was a deep inhale. Damn. All right, everybody. I had a lot to say. I feel a little bit better, at least getting it out there, getting it off my chest, and at least speaking it, you know? The more you speak it, the better you feel, so that's all it is. I treat this kind of more or so like a video journal or something, just so, you know, real thoughts, real ideas, real words, you know? That's all it is. And sometimes it'll change. Like I said, I kind of wanted to have some sort of a structure. Things kind of got a little out of place last week, and sometimes that structure isn't quite there. But like I said, this is the Real Word podcast. Real thoughts, real ideas, and real words, you know, and that's what this is. Sometimes there'll be more of a formula. Sometimes it'll just kind of be like this, me speaking from the heart off of the top of the head. But I appreciate everybody stopping by. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Again, go follow and check out at the _ No World Order podcast on Instagram. Check out all the links below. Hit up the Robinhood link. And that is it. Until next time, I will see you tomorrow morning for Tuesday morning tokes. Peace.